She spent college obliterating records, high school raking in awards, and elementary school smashing her brothers into walls. Now her WNBA career is reaching a fever pitch, and it's just getting started. Before becoming the record-breaking basketball star she is today, Caitlin Clark was a young girl growing up in West Des Moines, Iowa. She was raised by two supportive parents, Anne and Brent, and is the middle child with an older brother Blake and a younger brother Colin. Although it would have been hard to predict just how huge an impact Caitlin would have in women's basketball, the people who knew her could tell she was a force to be reckoned with. As a young girl, Clark participated in several sports. Along with basketball, she demonstrated her athleticism and competitive nature by playing volleyball, softball, and soccer. At just 5 years old, she played in the Boys Basketball League, where she refused to be pushed around, even by children much larger than her.
It was a boys' tournament. Well, they ended up winning the tournament. One of the mothers complained because a girl shouldn't be allowed to play in a boys' tournament.
Speaking to Hawk fanatic, Clark's grandfather, former high school football coach Bob Nizzi, described watching 5-year-old Clark get bullied on the court by a larger opponent, only to come back and block the boy so hard he rolled out of bounds. Clark's brother Colin also described how intense their one-on-one basketball games became as children. One time in particular, Caitlin got so competitive, it led to an injury.
There was a loose ball, and she ended up shoving me into the corner of a basement wall. Split my head open, got 4 staples.
Lily Overstreet, who played on the same youth soccer team as Clark when they were 11, reiterated Clark's sheer determination to come out on top. Telling High School FN, she was very intense, a fierce competitor. Even from an early age, she would do what it took to win. You always wanted to be on her team. As she got older, Caitlin Clark began focusing more of her energy on basketball. She played for Dowling Catholic High School, where coach Kristen Meyer was impressed by her skill level even as a freshman. Speaking to AP News, Meyer explained that there were actually some challenges to working with Clark because she was so far ahead of an average high school player. There were times the competitiveness of her kind of took over, or she wasn't as patient. But every high schooler has to grow through some things, and looking back, her skill level was on a different level than other people, so it was harder for her at times.
She sees the game differently than anyone I've ever met. The game is slower for her.
Despite any frustration she may have felt, Clark grew throughout her high school athletic career. In 2017, she helped the USA Women's Under-16 basketball team take home the gold medal in Argentina. In 2019 and 2021, she did it again with the USA Women's Under-19 team and snagged MVP for the 2021 tournament. She was also named Gatorade National Player of the Year for the 2019 to 2020 season. Obviously, it wasn't long before college recruiters started taking note of her excellence on the court. As her high school career came to an end, Clark had her pick of colleges, with multiple institutions vying to get her on their team. Initially, she wanted to attend the University of Connecticut. Growing up, this had been her dream, as she always looked up to Maya Moore, an all-star women's basketball player at UConn. Ultimately, UConn didn't recruit her, and although Notre Dame was also courting her, the prospect of leading a team to glory led her to play for the Hawkeyes at the University of Iowa.
Our goal was to get back to the Final Four, and that's what Coach Bluter always pitched to me, and I just loved that challenge, and I think that's the main reason I came here.
Like in high school, Clark quickly rose in the ranks in college. During her first year, she started in all the games she played and averaged 26.6 points. As a result of her hard work and talent, she was unanimously named Big Ten Freshman of the Year.
Caitlin Clark showing some stuff in her arsenal.
Is she really a freshman? She's not playing like one.
It didn't take long for Clark's court dominance and mile-long three-pointers to start drawing crowds, turning near-empty stadiums into packed venues shaking with the roar of fans. Part of the thrill came from head-to-head matchups with rival NCAA stars. One of her most notable challengers was LSU forward Angel Reese. With these two competitors on the court, games between LSU and the University of Iowa were thrilling to watch. In the 2023 NCAA Women's National Championship, LSU emerged victorious. Following the intense game, a video of Reese taunting Clark by waving her hand in front of her face went viral. Notably, Clark herself had used the taunt earlier. Sports fans love a good feud, but in this case, both players expressed there was no ill will between them. It's all left on the court.
That's what makes women's basketball so fun is, you have great competition, and that's what we've had all year long, but I think Angel would say the same.
Angel Reese did say the same during a press conference leading up to a rematch between Iowa and LSU in 2024.
Me and Caitlin Clark don't hate each other. I want everybody to understand that it's just a super competitive game.
Clark blew college basketball fans away when she broke the scoring record previously held by Pete Maravich. Maravich attended Louisiana State University from 1967 to 1970 before playing in the NBA. Decades later, another player had yet to touch Maravich's NCAA career record of 3,667 points. That was until Clark came on the scene.
Caitlin Clark becomes the all-time leading scorer in major college basketball history.
Clark surpassed the long-standing record with a free throw that took her to 3,668 points. Speaking about the momentous occasion, Clark admitted that she hadn't been thinking about the record when she made the shot. As always, she was more focused on herself and her team and playing the best game possible.
A record is a record. I don't want that to be the reason people remember me. I hope people remember me for the way I played with a smile on my face, my competitive fire.
She also broke the NCAA Division I record for most three-pointers in a season, sinking her record-making 163rd during a game against Penn State in March 2024. Clark's talent and record-breaking plays have made her a role model and brought new viewers to the sport. This was especially evident during the 2024 championship game between the University of Iowa and the University of South Carolina. It was expected to be a tough matchup, and although South Carolina took home the win, Clark and the rest of her team still played an impressive game. Despite the loss, it was still an exciting day for women's basketball as a whole, as the tournament had groundbreaking viewership with an average of 18.7 million people watching and a peak of 24 million. This was up 89% from the previous year, making it the most watched basketball game since 2019, including men's basketball and professional games. Even more astounding, that game only built on two previous record-setting games. The Iowa versus LSU matchup on April 1st drew an audience of 12.3 million, while the following Final Four game between Iowa and UConn had 14.2 million fans glued to their screens. After each of those, ESPN announced that it had been the most watched college basketball game on the network. In the wake of such a historic season, ESPN chairman Jimmy Pitero credited players like Clark, Angel Reese, and others for drawing so much interest from fans and the media, saying, "These exceptional athletes, coaches, and teams captured our attention in unprecedented ways, and it's incumbent on all of us to keep the incredible momentum going." In April 2024, Clark made a surprise appearance on Weekend Update on Saturday Night Live. The segment started with host Michael Che cracking jokes about the University of Iowa retiring Clark's jersey and replacing it with an apron.
Here to comment is Caitlin Clark.
Although she's an athlete and not a comedian, Clark held her own during the sketch show, pointing out how often Che has made belittling comments about women's basketball and giving him some jokes to read that she said she'd written especially for him.
A reminder that Indiana Fever is a WNBA team and not what Michael Che gave to dozens of women at Purdue University.
The audience loved seeing the two poke fun at each other and seemed especially excited to have Clark there. Her appearance came right before the WNBA draft, and Clark also took the time to thank the many women athletes who came before her. After a historical collegiate basketball career, Caitlin Clark was ready to continue her legacy in professional sports as part of the WNBA. Indiana Fever had the first draft pick for 2024, and it was no surprise when they selected Clark. Although many other talented players were up for the draft, Clark stood out as a record-breaking top collegiate athlete. On the night of the pick, family, friends, and fans joined Clark to cheer her on in this next step. She told ESPN, "Sharing that moment with them and enjoying it, and people that have really had my back and believed in me more than anyone, is super special."
I told my mom before this, I earned it, and that's why I'm so proud of it.
Many fans were shocked to learn Caitlin Clark's WNBA salary would be just $338,056 over the next 4 years. While this may be a decent salary by some standards, it feels unbelievably low when it's compared to multi-million-dollar deals of some of her male counterparts. The extreme pay gap felt discouraging, especially seeing it in an athlete who has gained so much adoration and media attention. News of her salary got a lot of people talking about the pay discrepancies in the industry, with even President Joe Biden weighing in on X, formerly Twitter, to say, "Right now, we're seeing that even if you're the best, women are not paid their fair share." Despite the pay disparity, Clark is set up for financial success due to her many brand endorsements. Clark was the first collegiate athlete to join State Farm's many celebrity endorsements. Furthermore, in April 2024, news broke that the basketball star would be signing a $28 million deal with Nike. Although it's disheartening to see her comparatively low salary, Clark's skill has earned her enough name recognition for these huge brands to value her.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Caitlin Clark has grown from a talented young girl from Iowa into the next basketball star to watch. She drew the attention of viewers and fellow athletes while playing impressive games and earning more points than any other college player. Now she's ready to embark on the next big step in her career, playing for the WNBA. And basketball fans are excited to see just how high she can soar. After her first week of practice with her new team, Clark seemed to be adjusting to working on a professional team and feeling up to the challenge. She said, "It's definitely different, but that's what you expect when you start a new chapter in your life. It's fast shot clock, but I think all of you know that's how I like to play. So I think it suits my game pretty well." Although she's already accomplished so much, it feels like she's only getting started.
How's your spinning?
Pretty good.
Oh, look, that's what I'm talking about.